So I hope you had a good discussion about faith. And when we think about faith, a lot of times we talk about fear because it kind of seems like it's the opposite thing. But fear is real. Fear is something that God gives us, even good fear, to be afraid of falling off a cliff. So we back off the edge because we don't want to die that way, right? And so that's a good fear. And so fear isn't always a bad thing, but there are fears that can take us off God's path. Or there's fear that can make us think that God isn't with us or God isn't helping us. And so we're not talking about like being afraid of mice and snakes and those type of things. Those are fears, and God can help you with that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about everyday, real life fear. Maybe somebody's sick and you feel like a family member is going to die sooner than you thought. That brings fear, right? You don't understand why. Or maybe everybody's just fighting in your family and you don't understand why mom and dad are always fighting with each other and it's scary to you. You don't know what's going to happen. They're talking about either maybe getting a divorce or breaking up, and that brings real fear to your life and to your heart. And so we're going to go around and we're going to talk about things that are going on that we have fear in our lives that we know we need more faith for. So what is something that is a fear in your life that you go, I need to do the right thing with God more so that I don't worry about that as much? So let me give you an example. Or let me tell you what maybe I'm dealing with in my own life. So I fear being accepted by people, like being loved by people. I want everybody to like me. And the reality is everybody isn't going to like you, right? And so I have to really work on that, not doing what people want me to do, because sometimes I'll do things that I know maybe God doesn't want me doing. Maybe I'll tell somebody a lie or something because I don't want them to not like me if I don't say what they want me to say. And so I have this fear of being accepted, and I know the way to strengthen my faith in that is to remind myself that God says He is with me always. God loves me. He built me in His image, and He does not see my faults first. He sees His child that He loves first. And He wants me to remember those things, that I remember that what He thinks of me is more important. So if I'm being right with God and doing the things that God says are right in the world, that's more important than if I'm trying to please someone so that they like me more. And what God says is do these things. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to have people that don't like you, and that's just part of life and part of the broken world we're in. But doing what God asks me to do builds my faith and strengthens my faith. And so when I do things by Him, I know that what He thinks of me matters the most. So think about what your fear is and what needs to strengthen there. So I need to think about those things, right? So what is your fear, and how can having stronger faith help you? We'll start with the MCs and we'll just go around the room. Here we go.